I am moving up in the world.
Yay! Yes, I moved upstairs to a bigger room with which I am a little more familiar with. You'll see there are some signs and COVID protocols in place from the Costa Rican Tourism Board. I actually read this interesting article from the BBC that the Bribri predicted COVID as a result of human greed and ill treatment of our planet, that we are unbalanced. Oh gosh, this is so cool. Don't you love the artwork? That's what this video is about. So these rooms for guests are always very clean and comfortable. Visitors that I have brought here tell me often it's the best night's sleep they've ever had. Oh, I'm so excited about this one. So one thing I just love and can't wait to share with you is the artwork all around Koswak Lodge. The painted doors here tell stories. And this is, oh, I don't know the story for this one. I can see that it is the cone house that is like a cone temple. And there's a big snake around it. I'm not sure what the story is behind that one, but I am just so excited to share what I have learned about the other artwork that's all around here. It's just what I so love about the Bribri, what they consider their history. So not stories, but their history. And I am super excited to share what I've learned about the symbolism and artwork displayed here. So we are going to start with Sibo, the main god, a benign demigod, creator of all, well, created Earth and then adapted it for humans. A culture hero who taught the Bribri and Quebecer what to eat, established rules about incest, clans, morality, magic stones, and so on. The story of creation is a little tricky to tell as it involves multiple times and dimensions or worlds, all timelines happening at once. So there's not just one lineal story, it's actually quite a complex history of the initial point and creation of humans and the universe that I will share in more detail during videos of the ceremonies that relate to these stories. And for now, I'll do my best to just describe what we are shown in the painting. The large diamond shape, try to think of it in 3D circles, represents the 8 worlds. Again, there is much to this complex concept. So the earth, as we are on it, and its inhabitants are in the middle there. The upper worlds above ground are of a divine masculine representation, and the lower worlds below ground are of a divine feminine representation. And neither is dominant, but equal, balanced. So Sibo lives in the very top world, as does, okay, I should mention the universe or cosmos existed before Sibo, or as Sibo was born, at least. There were, he has a father, there were others, okay? I know a couple different tellings of the birth of Sibo, but for now, just know Sibo lives at the top along with the king vulture, his helper, and the only bird or animal strong enough to fly as high as where Sibo sleeps. There are also malign spirits living there as Sibo kind of oversees them. And then Sura, the principal Awa, lives below in the lowest world, I think. I think that's Sura. Many animals and spirits live in the other worlds, specifically including both good and bad, because Sibo needs all spirits for balance. Now, Wikipedia will tell you that he's called Sibu by the Bribri and Quebecer, Sibo by the Taribe people, and Zipo by the Boruca. But I've only heard and seen Sibo by the Bribri of Amubri, and Saki. So we're looking at a representation of the Bribri cosmology in this painting. The feathers in Sibo's headdress are from his helper, the great, beautiful king vulture. I've had the good fortune of seeing these magnificent birds in La Fortuna in flight, and it is quite godly, like watching condors fly overhead with gorgeous markings. We see Sibo with a staff and spiral of creation. We see the beautiful poro tree. When this tree is in bloom in Costa Rica, it just looks like flowers of fire amongst the lush tropical greens. It's so beautiful. The Bribri believe all things were human-like shadows before they were given shape on earth, and so it is with the poro tree that was a human shadow that became this beautiful tree with the first dawn, or kanina, sunrise. The blue jean frog you see there is part of a very long story in which Sibo asked him to watch over the body, or the cemetery, of a dead woman and her womb, and has to do also with the tree and the creation of the sea. Oh, there's so much here. Okay, Sura, I'm going to go from my notes here, is known as the first Awa healer and father of the earth girl Iriria, another part of their complex origin history, the girl whose blood and body becomes the earth. So either male or female, Sura is the guardian of the seed spirit in Bribri culture, because we all come from corn seeds. There's theory that in ancient times this telling may have been about cacao seeds and evolved to corn seeds when maize was introduced to the culture around 6,500 years ago, domesticated from teosinte, a wild grass. But all the Bribri will tell you they and everyone come from corn seeds. The seeds came from a place called Sulakaska, which means place of destiny. Sura has containers full of water and the essence of people, or the essence of souls of the people. Bribri believe in more than one soul per person. The Sura grabs a little water or soul essence from each container, depending on the qualities and mission contained therein, and then stirs them all together to make up one of the souls of a person. The alligator is a symbol of long life, and they carry the water. Maize is people. The plants look like shadow people. And next we have Usekla. Oh, this one is so fun. Usekla is a high position among the Bribri. The Usekla is a woman who has been taught since the age of about 7 years old. Let me back up. So as we've learned, Sibu created humans from corn. All indigenous people come from corn seeds, so you'll see corn in much of the Bribri art. The seeds were different colors, and that's why we have so many different skin colors. Now, I've heard varying stories about us Sequas. I've heard that we fair-skinned people also came from corn, and I've also read that Sibu created indigenous people from corn seed at night and created white people during the day with the help of Sibu's relative, Plekeko, the king of the leafcutter ants. I think this latter story may have developed later, but I don't know. So the story goes that in ancient times, in their history, all of Sibu's relatives were allowed to eat Sibu's possessions on earth, including humans. So to protect them, Sibu gave them the Usekla clan. These were celestial beings from another world. Remember, as translations may have become confused over time, I think the words world, planet, and dimensions are interchangeable. So Cebu gave the indigenous people a clan of celestial beings not made from corn, and they had the power to cure illness. Today, the story of the Osekla is not that they are celestial beings, but that they are women of a very high spiritual position. She does not directly heal the body, but assists in healing by moving energy from the elements, the rain, the sun, wind, to avoid natural disasters or sickness. So she holds the energy of the environment. She is the female tiger and works with the tiger spirits of the elements. Now, I have asked them many times if they mean jaguar or puma or something, because there are no tigers in Costa Rica, but they assure me they mean tiger. Few know her, and she rarely appears publicly. It is said that her eyes are so full of light and so intense it could affect an ordinary person. I have not met an Osekla, but I sure would like to. Aren't these fun? So we already know a shaman is called an awa, and the awapa, plural for awa, the awapa of ancient times had chanters to assist them in communing with spirits. A chanter or singer is called soko or sokolpa, plural. The sokolpa would chant in a meditative state and play something like maracas, like a rattle, to assist the awa. The chants link our world with Sibo's world and were a transmission of ancient history. The sokol is also of great importance when someone dies, as they assist in funeral preparations as the chanters or singers recanting the life and deeds of the deceased. We also see decorative drums in this painting. I think drums are the most important instrument of the Bribri. The possum and armadillo are considered harbingers of death, while the anteater is known to carry Bribri souls to their place after death. So here we have, according to Roger, the Bikakra is an important ceremonial officer and has the charge of running ceremonial activities, giving orders to each person for their part in ceremony. So in this painting, we see items used in the processing of cacao into ceremonial chocolate, like the three-legged mortar. Only women can ever prepare the cacao, as this sacred chocolate is considered the blood of the Bribri, or represents the blood of the Bribri. Also seen here are other ceremonial items, a rattle-like instrument and basket. In the ancient histories, Bikakra is the grandmother taper of Iriria, the earth girl, and the one in charge of chocolate ceremony. So all of these paintings were done by Urenia, and I was told that this artist does not currently live in Amubri. Okay, so you'll remember that I said I didn't know the story to go with this one, but I found in my notes what Roher explained to me, that this is Chabeko, the great snake of the underworld. And when a person disrespects the laws, the snake comes through. She punishes incest. It is not good to have relationships with one's own clan. So Roher says she can take my soul to the other side, where the sun is born, where the spirits suffer. And remember that Sura lives in the place where the good and bad spirits are. And if I don't follow the rules, my spirit can pass to the underworld where she can't help me. And my spirit will feed the bad beings. And I have to fight to reach the world of Sura, the most beautiful world. And here we have Salpu, if I'm saying that correctly. Salpu is an eagle that fed on human flesh in ancient times. And then this next one is actually a painting that's hanging up in kind of like a cantina type area. And so Roher tells me the Ensirue concept is to share the drink. So there's many stories, but the eagle shared the food that humans were with other eagles. And so it represents, sharing the drink in the cantina. Next, we have a painting from the kitchen house of the four oceans. So the big tree that created the four seas. From an umbilical cord from the woman is born a tree that grows to the sky. The tree was threatening to break the universe. That was the roof of the big house of Sibo. The spirits of those animals in the painting wanted to cut the tree but couldn't. And Roger says Sibo asked for help from a spirit called Okoma. It is the essence of the white man. I think this next one might be representative of the pond where the spirits of the animals go, but I could be incorrect about that. And then this here is Dukur, or Akeko. So there is a story of the girl who becomes the earth girl, and she lived in the fourth world under the earth, and there's a vampire shadow human, or okay, so Cebu one day asked the bad man, or the vampire, the one who drinks the blood, what he ate because he was secreting plants. He said that he took the blood of the girl down there, and this has to do with the creation story because the earth was all rock, and the bat drank the blood of the girl, Aurelia, and then his excrement on the rocks would grow plants and trees. Definitely more about the story of the Earth Girl when we do the video of the ceremony. Just sharing some of the art and just beauty around the Koswak Usure Lodge. Thank you. I really love sharing these stories and the Bribri history. And if you'd like to learn more about the Bribri, contact Roger. You can easily reach him on WhatsApp. Just remember, from outside of Costa Rica, use the +506 and then his phone number.